Hello, and welcome to another episode of Untraditionally Traditional, a podcast with me, Brittany Duncan, a millennial homemaker. Join me each week as I share all the things I've learned that make keeping your home, garden, and life running smoothly, all while working. If you are enjoying the podcast, please be sure to subscribe in your favorite podcasting app so you get the episodes downloaded straight to you every Monday. Now, on to today's episode. Hello, and welcome to another episode of Untraditionally Traditional, a millennial homemaker. This is your host, Brittany Duncan, and I'm so glad you're here to listen and join me today on the podcast. If this is your first time, welcome. This show is for anyone and everyone and anyone who takes care of their home and garden and enjoys cooking and, dare I say it, cleaning, but that is also living in the modern day world, juggling all that we do. I hope you'll find the show to be a source of inspiration or at the very least some entertainment to put in your earbuds while you vacuum and dust or cook or clean or do what you are doing today. For those of you who have been listening for a while now, thank you. Seeing you tune in again and again warms my heart, and reading your reviews on Apple Podcasts brings the biggest smile to my face. If you haven't left a review for the show, please do so. Rating and reviews help to make the show more findable for other homemakers, and that's why I started this. I wanted to open up the conversation about modern day homemaking and bring excitement back to it, because it really is exciting and fulfilling and a role that we are all blessed with, and that's how I choose to view it. And I think more and more people, as they listen to the show, and I think more and more people are feeling that way in general. And then when we go searching for the show and we find it and we feel like we have this community. I know that's happened to me with other shows, and so that's what I'm going for here. Today's episode is titled, Man, I Feel Like a Woman. Am I being provocative with the title? Maybe. And here comes the disclaimer that I don't feel I owe anyone, but that I want to provide because I care about all my listeners and I would never want to hurt anyone. I feel and identify personally as a woman. And in this episode, I'm going to talk about a woman as a feminine being, a girl's girl. If you are not or do not identify as a woman, if feeling feminine isn't something you desire, this episode may not be for you. As always, with this podcast, I encourage you to take what you like and leave the rest. You don't need to listen to every episode, but for those of you who do like to get dolled up and feel womanly from time to time, let's get into it. First, let me say for me, leaning into my femininity and being a steward of it has positive outcomes for my mental health and well-being. I feel better about myself when my hair and makeup are done. I'm excited about the outfit I've put together. I'm sure a therapist who is listening may read into that. Don't. Read into the science. There are studies that show that applying makeup and doing your hair can release dopamine and oxytocin, feel-good hormones. For many, myself included, there is a confidence boost that comes from feeling like I've put effort into my appearance for the day. Dressing oneself is a form of self-expression and the first dose of creativity for the day, and I opt to take advantage of it. I'm going to talk about products on this episode, a whole bunch of them. I will link as many as I can in the show notes. So if you hear something and you're like, oh, I want to try that, don't feel like you have to try and scribble it down while you're driving or something. Just check the show notes later. I'm going to talk about them because I love them. They took me a long time to find, and maybe you're looking for a product in one of these categories, and I can save you some time searching and buying things that aren't great. That being said, every body type, hair type, skin type, and lifestyle is different, so what works for me may not be ideal for you, and that's just how the cookie crumbles, but I'll share for you what I like about the products, and then hopefully that'll help you determine if they would be a good fit for you. First, let's start from the top down, hair. If you've listened to the show for any length of time, you know that I use natural products, free of chemicals and toxins. It's something that's important to me, but hair care gets a pass. I'm sorry. I've tried everything free shampoos, hairsprays, and trialing products, and they just don't work for my hair. Hair care gets a pass where diet and skincare don't. Give take, right? Balance. Fun fact about me is that my favorite actress is Blake Lively. I've adored everything she's been in, and as a millennial, Gossip Girl was influential to my love of fashion and design. Although as much as I'd love to be a Serena, I'm probably more of a Blair. Anywho, All of this to say, Blake Lively launched her hair care line. It's called Blake Brown, and I knew I had to try it. The woman has iconic hair, and a lot of it, and my hair is deceivingly thick, and I have a lot of it. With her products, they are exclusively sold at Target, and I think on her website, but honestly, like, I think they're really only available at Target, and they sell out super fast, or at least they have. So I've been able to get my hands on 3 of them. What I have is the shampoo, the pre-shampoo mask, and the leave-in potion. I'm obsessed with the Santal Nectar shampoo. They make 2 scents. That's the scent that I have, and I love it. And I pray that they never stop making it. It smells amazing. I know that fragrant, lovely smell is probably all chemicals, but again, I feel like a queen when I exit the shower, and I I like the shampoo. I'm gonna use the shampoo. I'm gonna stop apologizing for it. Things I like about the shampoo, other than the amazing scent, is that my hair is really thick and it leans to the oily side. I have found that this shampoo cuts and then limits oil production significantly, and that's a plus for me. So if you have thin or drier hair, I think that this would exacerbate it. So again, if you have thick, maybe kind of oily hair, I really like it because I find that it kind of thins my hair out a little bit, makes it more manageable, more silky, and less oily. But if your hair is already drier, I do think that this would make it even more dry. The pre-shampoo mask, again, smells fantastic. I don't know if it makes a huge difference in my hair, but I do like that it makes me slow down a little bit. Lately, typically on a Sunday, I've been filling the bath, wetting my hair, and then applying this mask and taking a 30-minute soak before hopping into the shower and doing my normal shower routine. It's been nice. It certainly isn't negatively affecting my hair, so I'm going to be keeping it in my hair care routine. Last product, the leave-in potion. It leaves something to be desired for me. I think it might be due to my hair type, but another wish is that it's more fragrant. That shampoo smells amazing, and I want that smell, but in the leave-in, and it to last even longer. And that's what I was hoping for, but I found that the fragrance doesn't wow after it dries. And then also the fact that it's an anti-frizz, shine, and damage protection product, I think it's adding more oil back into my hair, which isn't desirable. But again, if you have drier hair, this is probably something that you would love. Once my hair is washed, I typically let it air dry 85%, and then I dry it and style it. Like I said, got a lot of hair, it's thick, and it holds water like a freaking sponge. So rather than applying heat to my hair longer than necessary, I let nature do most of the work, and then I dry it that final 15%. I use the Revlon one-step dryer hairbrush and volumizer. It was the device that I feel like every influencer was using a few years ago. I was influenced, I bought it, and I really love it. If I use a normal hair dryer, I look like a lion afterwards. And so this device is amazing for me because you're brushing it as it's blowing, and it just gets really smooth, and it looks like a blowout. So sometimes I will leave it as a blowout, but typically I will either flat iron or curl it following. And then there's some finishing products that I use. For hairspray, I use the Tresemme 2 Hold Level 4 hairspray. It's not fancy, but it smells good, and I can't feel it in my hair, which is really important to me. It's like a really fine mist when you spray it, and that's great. I've also used the Moroccan oil hairspray. Again, smells great. It's got that really fine mist, but I think it's like $20 a can, and the Tresemme works just as well, if not better, and so that's primarily what I use. And then my mom got me hooked on this product, which is from Drybar, and it's called Triple Sec 3-in-1 Finishing Spray in Lush Scent. This stuff smells so good. It gives you a little extra volume. It is a fantastic product. And so basically what I do, I take the top layer of my hair, the crown of my hair, and I pull that up and flip it over and just give it a couple spritz, and then kind of zhuzh it up to give me a little extra volume, and it's awesome. And it like I said, it smells so good. I have had only this on, no perfume on, and people have stopped me to tell me that I smell amazing. So it's that good in terms of how it smells. It's $30 for the can, which is pricey, but it lasts forever because you're really only using like a couple sprays. Last two hair products are a new thing for me, but I've been loving them. I have baby hairs on my forehead that are wild. We don't have children yet, and I know that like baby hairs go wild postpartum, and so I'm like honestly a little bit terrified of that because mine are already insane. They're like little horns or wings, depending how you look at them, pointing up to heaven above at all times. You know, you try straighten them, Johnson was like talking to me about them. He's like, can you like pluck them or shave, like cut them? And I was like, no, have you ever seen a child cut their bangs? It would be like that. No, we're not doing that. So I got these two products, and the first is a mascara tube look-alike. It's hair gel, but it doesn't dry like hair gel. Basically, I'm sure you've seen influencers online use this, but you take this little wand and I use it around the frame of my face for the baby hairs, and then sometimes on top as well if my hair is like a little frizzy. And then the second product that I got is a Salmonite hair wax stick, which I use when my hair is up in a ponytail or if I want that slicked back, sleek bun look. And both work really well, and they're really cheap. Like each of them, I think I ordered both from Amazon. I think the order total was $14 total. So, less than $10 per product, and they've made my hair much prettier. So if you struggle with baby hairs, check those out. For the hair stick, I used to dance when I was little, and we'd always have to have those really slick back buns, and we would have, I remember like coating my hair in gel because your hair had to be all back. This, for any of you parents out there listening, would be a much better alternative. I would try that. Okay, down from the hair onto the face. I'm not a huge makeup girly. I wear makeup probably 50% of the time. And even when I do wear it, I tend to go for a very natural look. It's just who I am. I try to accentuate what I've got going on naturally rather than going all out. But even on no makeup days, there are 3 products that I like to put on my face that make me feel better and more confident barefaced. First and foremost is my brow pencil. I use Tubes & Co. eyebrow pencil. Deep brown is the color that I use. And I think that everybody can benefit from doing their brows daily, but it's especially true if you're brunette. It's just, I think because of the darkness of our hair, people tend to then look at your eyebrows because it is another dark feature on your face. And so having those, look nice, I think it makes a world of difference. So I do try to do my eyebrows daily. And then I use the Derma E No Dark Circles eye cream. I've talked about this on the podcast before, but it goes on really light. You can't feel it on. And then it color corrects and moisturizes your under eye. So it just helps with like those dark circles, looking tired. Kind of makes you look a little more awake. And then lastly is the Tubes & Co. Tinted Lip Balm, which I have in every purse, bag, car. It's on my desk at all times. It feels like chapstick going on, but it gives you the perfect natural womanly glow on your lip. On full makeup days, I wash my face with the Tubes & Co. charcoal bar, and then I use a homemade version of their glow serum, and then I gua sha my face with one of those gua sha stones, trying to naturally get a lift without Botox and filler and all those things. We'll see. I don't know if it's making a difference, but I do it. Again, it's one of those routines that's like nice and kind of relaxing for like, it's probably like a minute that I'm rubbing my face with the stone, but it feels good, so I do it. Then I put on the Tubes Face Tallow Balm and their primer. I saw on Carla Rockmar's Instagram the other day that you're supposed to let your primer sit on your face for 5 minutes before doing your makeup. Although none of the primers say this on them, but she was saying she was like reading about it, or I don't know where she learned about it. So anywho, now I've been letting my primer sit for 5 minutes before I put makeup on top of it. And so I'll put it on and then I do my hair or something. Anywho, you might find that tip helpful. Once all of it is dry, again, I use that Derma E under eye cream. And then I use a ton of Tubes & Co. products. I got their concealer and their powder foundation, their bronzer goes on, and then I have the cream cheek tints in 2 colors, blush, which is like a true blush, and then one called Pink Frost, which is like a highlighter. And then I use that eyebrow pencil. I have eyeshadow from them in the color Gold Rush, and mascara. I love Toops & Co. I will be loyal to their makeup for the rest of my life. It is so clean and it's amazing quality. You're not sacrificing anything. It feels really good on. My skin doesn't break out. It does what it's supposed to do. I can't say enough about it. So if you're looking for like a cleaner, natural makeup, check them out. Okay, hair and makeup done. Now, real quick, let's talk nails. I am hard on my hands. I work out in the gym several days a week. I cook from scratch. I garden. I have had more or less given up on having nice nails because I refuse to pay for gel manicures at the salon. Gel I found was like really hard on my nails, and it's also just expensive. And so finally, after seeing ads over and over for Olive and June, I decided to give it a try, and I love it. I'll be clear, it is not a gel manicure. It is a long-lasting polish that actually lasts. Every Monday, I paint my nails. I have a meeting that I really just need to like listen to and type notes every now and then, and I don't talk much on it, and so therefore I paint my nails during the meeting. I'm not on camera for the note. Judge me all you want. But if I wasn't painting my nails, I'd probably be working on another project, half listening to the meeting, which wouldn't be ideal. So I paint my nails during this 1 30-minute meeting. The polish lasts. It looks great for, I'd say it looks like great for 5 days. On day 6 and 7, it's pretty good, but it's starting to chip. And that's good enough for me. It isn't hard on my nails, it comes off easy, and their kit makes it really easy to use and salon quality for home nails. Get the kit because it has a lot of other products that like you might not think are necessary, but make the difference in your manicure. And then something that doesn't come in the kit, but that they sell that I really like is their dry drops. I have found that letting the nail polish dry for like at least 5 to 10 minutes before putting these dry drops on is better, but in a pinch you can just like put it right on as it says to do after you've put your top coat. But I found sometimes if I put it on right after I've done my top coat, it creates like little bubbles in it, which don't look bad, but it's just not that like perfect manicure look. So if you let it dry for like 5 or 10 minutes, I found that it doesn't do that. So anyway, having nice nails has made me feel really feminine. Pretty toes make me happy when I'm standing barefoot in the kitchen cooking dinner. You know, when you look down at your feet, you're brushing your teeth, and having nice nails, it just makes me smile. When I'm typing away on my keyboard all day, it's the small things. Let's talk clothing. As I record this, I'm at my desk, I'm staring at my closet doors are open, and I see a closet that is full of color and pattern and ruffles and texture. When you look at my closet, there is no doubt that it's a woman's closet. Color-wise, I am an autumn. I'm fair-skinned brunette with green eyes. Black, gray, olive, burgundy, burnt orange, oatmeal color, all those look good on me. And for the longest time, I really only bought those colors. I bought neutrals. But as my husband would say, it was like I was trying to hide in plain sight. You know, I'd sometimes see a bright colored shirt and be like, oh, that's fun. He'd be like, why do you get it? I was like, oh, it's too bright. And gradually I just started saying screw that and buying brighter, more out there pieces. And then in 2024, this year, when I started buying only secondhand clothing, the color and pattern and funness of my clothing erupted. And I'm so glad. I am a woman, and if I want to wear a fuchsia shirt and a green floral skirt, nothing should hold me back. I wear red lipstick on a random Wednesday because I feel like it. I tie silk scarves into my hair to take business meetings. I wear big chunky earrings often, and I find they make someone smile at least once during my workday. Life is too short to be boring. Wear the damn earrings, okay? In terms of like inspiration, I'm gonna pull up my phone here so I get these handles right. There's a lot of people that I follow for, you know, fashion inspiration. I mentioned Carla Rockmore earlier, and she is one of those people. She has a phenomenal closet. She is a designer herself, and that's Carla with a C. Rockmore, and I really enjoy her fashion. Another one that I like is Meredith Peck, and her Instagram is Spark and Pepper. I also like India de Beaufort a lot. She, again, phenomenal closet. She does these reels of like these crazy fun outfits. She makes a lot of her clothing, or like will DIY a thrifted piece and make it work. Her fashion is like out there, but so fun. And she's one that I really like as well. In terms of more like classic, kind of simple style, which is, one of my I do like a preppy style, and Mary Orton is another one, and it's just Mary Orton on Instagram. She has done some collaborations with some brands and actually like designed clothing for Buru, B-U-R-O, B-U-R-U, and has great fashion as well. Lone Star Southern is fun. She used to do like more reels that were like high-end fashion and kind of like really expensive, but I've found that she's kind of come down, and a lot of the things that like she promotes now are more affordable, and so that's great. And then last but not least is Belle of the Ball 45, who is Abigail is her name, and she does a lot of fashion blogging as well. So those are some accounts that I follow that for fashion inspiration and people that I feel like are really playing into their femininity and fashion and wearing fun outfits and not apologizing for it. Okay. Along the topic of doing things and not apologizing for it, let's talk about tattoos and piercings. Cannot believe I'm about to talk about this on air. I'm traditional in a lot of ways. I got my ears pierced when I was 13, and that was my only piercing for years. I almost got my second holes done when I was in Thailand. I was studying abroad there, but I like chickened out over the potential infection risk. I went with friends. I had full intention of getting it done with them and like just totally got skeeved out. At 29, I got 2 cartilage piercings, and now at 30, I recently got 2 tattoos. For anyone listening who may be disappointed in my decision or think that I've made a poor decision, hear me out. Why the hell not? People are not associating tattoos with gang behavior or prison time any longer. Some of the most prestigious doctors and lawyers and professionals that I know have large portions of their body covered in ink. I used to hesitate because I'd wonder what it'll look like when I'm old and wrinkly. It wasn't, my hesitation for a long time really wasn't what other people would think. I mean, that was certainly part of it because society, for so long are, not my parents, but like you just hear in general, like, oh, you'll never get a job if you have a tattoo. That has changed, but my hesitation for a long time was like, oh, what's it gonna look like when I'm old and wrinkly? And then it hit me. I'm gonna be old and wrinkly. God willing, when I die, I will be old and wrinkly. So I might as well go out with a little extra pizzazz. Tattoos are art, expression, they're reminders to us. They're personal, and just like clothing, an expression. When I die, I want my body to tell a story. I want scars from adventure. I want tattoos and piercings that show I lived outside the box. Nothing wild. I'm not trying to be Post Malone over here. That works for him, but, don't worry. Anyone listening, I did not tattoo my face. But I don't want to live afraid, particularly about what other people are going to think of me. So at 30, I got 2 small tattoos. The point of this is to say that your body, your clothing, your hair, your makeup, your perfume, your nails, all of it should reflect who you want to be. It can change by the day. I have an edgy side of me, an athletic side of me, a preppy side of me, a Western side of me. There are so many versions of myself that are all me. Don't put yourself into a box. If you feel like going full hair and red lips on a Monday and then barefaced on a Tuesday, do it. You can dress up and maximize your femininity without having to do it every single day. You don't owe anyone anything, so dress to be who you want to be every single day. Thank you for listening to this episode of Untraditionally Traditional. If you enjoy the podcast, please share it with those special people who would love it too, and write a review. For more tips and photos of my home and garden, follow Untraditionally Traditional Pod on Instagram. Until next week, let's continue to make our homes places of joy and service to ourselves and those we share them with.